Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream here on Max Coverage TV, the place to be for all your sports wants, news, and needs. And most importantly, live streams, off-season streams, which we haven't really had much to talk about Yankee land-wise other than rumors, reports, and all that BS. So this is the first for the off-season. I'm sorry, but the Yankees haven't really done us much justice, okay? But we have some updates. We have some news to talk about here today that could be a possibility for the New York Yankees. And it's an old friend, an old buddy of ours, Michael King. Reportedly, he is going to be deciding where he wants to play in 2026 and is down between a couple of teams, only 3 teams, and they're all in the AL East. They're all in the AL East. Hold on, give me a second here. Now that I see the chat. What's up, chat? What's going on, buddy? What is up, chat? Hold on. Make it a little bit bigger so I can see your comments. We got Dio Harris. We have Matt, aka Living La Vida Loca. Brian Webster, what's going on? We have Hayden Siciliano's in the chat. What's up, Camilla? Good to see everybody, man. The Yankee offseason has been very, very quiet. In case you missed it, the Yankees have made some moves, which is just bringing back players from last year. Trent Grisham, of course, accepted a qualifying offer, $22.05 million. We saw they picked up the option for Tim Hill. They re-signed Ahmed Rosario to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract. Really, these moves, yeah, they're nice. I like the Tim Hill option. I like bringing back Rosario. Don't get me wrong. All that's fine and dandy. But this team has not done anything to upgrade from last year, in my opinion. What's up, Jose? Too damn cheap to spend, for real, man. I mean, that's exactly what's going on right now. Too cheap to spend. And right now, we saw what Hal Steinbrenner, Brian Cashman said. The winter meetings, they already came and went. Yankees didn't do anything. Now, I will say this. There's no need to really sit here and panic just yet as Yankees fans, because I don't know about all of you, but for me personally, the guys that I want the Yankees to go and get are still out there. The Yankees already came out and said that the number one priority is re-signing Cody Bellinger, which I agree. That should be our number one priority. I don't think we're going to get Kyle Tucker. Maybe everything is waiting on Kyle Tucker. I do think Kyle Tucker is either a Blue Jay or, dare I say, a Dodger, maybe a Giant. But I think Bellinger, right now, from what we've heard, the Yankees are at 5 years. Scott Boras wants 7. I'm with the Yankees. I'm not giving Bellinger more than 5 years. I'm not giving Bellinger more than 5 years. And I understand why Scott Boras wants more than that, because Scott Boras wants his clients to get paid as much as they want, because he gets that. He gets some checks too. But Bellinger, of course, older than Kyle Tucker is. I wouldn't mind to see the Yankees sign Kyle Tucker to like a 8 to 10 year contract just because he's younger. But that means more money. Tucker's going to cost you way more than Cody Bellinger is. I like Belly back with this team. Hopefully they can meet in the middle. Hopefully they can get it done. Also, my top pitching option is Tatsuya Amai. He's out there, of course. Yeah, Jacob, it sucks, dude. Yesterday was a very awful day for me, football-wise. It was an awful day football-wise for me. But, yeah, man, prayers out to Michael Parsons. Speedy recovery. He just got announced he did, in fact, tear his ACL. So, speedy recovery to him, man. It's going to be tough. We needed to keep Tim Hill, says Daver. I agree, Daver. We needed to. I like Tim Hill. Tim Hill was one of our top arms out of the bullpen. He was when Tim Hill entered the game, I felt good about it, right? But this bullpen needs a lot more work. Some more rumors that we've heard about the Yankees. Jojo Romero could be an option for them. Jojo Romero, I wouldn't mind either. He plays for the Cardinals. We would have to make a trade. We already heard some news about the Brewers are fielding phone calls for Trevor McGill, another arm that I wouldn't mind the Yankees to go and get because, one, he would be under contract, under control until 2028. And I think AAV-wise, he's making like $3 million per year, something like that. So it would be a cheap option. It would be an option not only for next year, but the years down the line as well. So that's another move that I wouldn't mind the Yankees doing. I don't know what that means. Who would the Brewers want in return? I'm not giving up a top prospect for Trevor McGill. I'm not giving up Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez. No, hell no. But if it's a lower end prospect, maybe two, I wouldn't mind that. Roy in the chat. Hold on. What's going on here? Why is it cutting it off like that? Give me 2 seconds. I need to fix this. It's cutting it off. Boom. There we go. Roy, Kaz, Okamoto, third base, RC, or Corey Seager, shortstop, Judge. So he's giving out a little lineup here. Okamoto, I would love. He's a contact hitter. We need more contact hitters. I mean, if you're a Yankees fan, you know damn well we need more than that. What up, Ryan? What's going on, guys? Smash the like button, everybody. Appreciate you all. I wouldn't want Corey Seager if the Yankees. That's a player that I would be a little scared about because he is older and he is injury prone, and you're gonna have to give up a lot of money to go and get him on top of prospects because you have to make the trade to go get Corey Seager. So I personally don't want Corey Seager. If this was 5 years ago, yes, of course. But right now in Corey Seager's career, I just personally do not want him, especially because of the contract. If it was a little bit less money, yes, but I wouldn't want that. Johnny says, Amai stinks. You think so? You think Amai stinks? What's up, Choa? Sounds like we're not going to sign either Japanese pitcher. Or Japanese player. I'm not going to sit here and have my hopes high because we've seen how it happens with these Japanese players. They want to go to West Coast, whether that's the Giants, the Dodgers. Listen, I mean, I would love Tatsuya Amai or Okamoto, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, like, if they sign elsewhere, I'm going to be upset because, honestly, the Yankees are always in on these Japanese players. They've offered contracts for them, which was Yamamoto. The Yankees were all in on Yamamoto. They offered him a pretty hefty contract. He said no, and he went to the Dodgers. So I'm not going to sit here and have my hopes high, and then he signs elsewhere, and then I'm going to sit there and be like, damn. I would love Amai, though. Trust me. Especially because his mindset, he says he wants to take down the Dodgers. Sign me up. Sign this player. I would love that. But, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Siciliano. He says he wants to destroy Ohtani and the Dodgers. That's someone I would love as a New York Yankee, bro. Chad, what's up, dude? Says, I can't believe my Thunder lost. Dude, that was a crazy game, man. That was a crazy game. Anthony says Michael King over Amai. So, here's the reports that we've seen so far. Peter Abraham he works for the Boston Globe, reported that Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles are competing for Michael King, and the right-hander from BC hopes to make a decision soon. So I would say we would see a Michael King decision probably in the next week or so. 30 years old. He was, of course, a part of the Juan Soto trade. 18-12, 3.10 ERA for the Padres the last 2 seasons combined. I mean, listen, if we're not gonna go get Tatsuya Amai, I would welcome Michael King back with open arms. Honestly, Michael King would be a nice guy. He already knows the system. I would love Michael King back as a New York Yankee, especially because we're seeing all the news that Garrett Cole's not going to be back till May, June. Rodon, April, May. That's 2 your top starters right there. We need some pitching. We need help. Michael King would be a nice fill-in. And, of course, he'll be a part of the rotation after those guys come back as well. But the Orioles have been full throttle in this offseason so far, signing Pete Alonso. The Blue Jays have been all in, getting Dylan Cease and others. Tyler Rogers also went to the Toronto Blue Jays. The AL East is not playing around. The Red Sox have been making some trades. Listen, man, the Yankees they gotta do something. They gotta do something. I don't want to hear all that. Oh, well, we need to stay below $300 million and be competitive. Sitting here right now, December 15th of 2025, which is crazy. The year is almost over. And by the way, happy Hanukkah to all that celebrate it. I can't sit here and say that this team, Yankees, constructed how we are right now. Of course, the offseason is still 2 months, right? There's still moves to be made. But this team right now constructed, I don't think is even a division front. Like, to win the division, I don't even think the Yankees are a front to do that. So, we're 67 days away from spring training. So, we have a lot of days left. But it's just, this offseason has been very quiet. The Yankees, I'm shocked. Honestly, I've been saying it. I think the Yankees are going to be making a big move here, but winter meetings just came and gone. The winter meetings in general was very quiet for like majority of the teams. But I'm shocked that the Yankees are sitting on their hands essentially, re-signing players from last year, which, like I say, I agree on the Tim Hill. I agree on Ahmed Rosario. But Devin Williams is gone now. Luke Weaver is essentially gone. He's a free agent, but I don't see the Yankees re-signing him, especially because of Brian Cashman's comments saying that, Devin's gone, Weaver's gone, so he's essentially already wrote Weaver off. Daver, man, I feel you, bro. I miss baseball too, man. It sucks that the news has been very quiet, little to none, but hopefully we can get some bigger news to celebrate as Yankees fans, man. But right now, it's quiet. It's very quiet. Roy says King will go to the Orioles. They will offer the most, and it will be revealed then of our non-existent budget. Yeah. Orioles, like I said, the Orioles are all in, so it wouldn't shock me if he goes to the Orioles. It would. One team I don't want him going to is the Red Sox, of course. The Red Sox and Michael King, it would be. I know he's from that area. He's a native over there, but it wouldn't look right, man, seeing Michael King in the white and red. So I do hope the Yankees can figure out a way to bring him back. I don't know what the contract will look like. Spotrac, let me see where they have him projected. And also, we'll get a glimpse of all the remaining free agents out there that we can talk about as well. Michael King, let me see. I'm trying to find his name. Let's see where they have him projected money-wise. So right now, market value, $22 million per year is what Spotrac has him at. Thank you, Jacob, man. Appreciate you, bro. Sub goal next season, I would probably say 30, 35. That would be my personal goal, man. The Orioles are probably also better than the Yankees, especially if they get King. Well, they have a nice lineup right now from top to bottom on paper. I mean, they got Taylor Ward. They bring in Pete Alonso. So, they've been making some moves, man. But they do need pitching help as well. Yeah, Choa, your Orioles are spending money. They already have been. Anthony says possible to reconnect with Stick, Michael, and Bob Watson. Oh, man, I wish. I wish, Anthony. That would be, God rest their soul. But that would be amazing. But unfortunately, we're stuck with Brian Cashman, unfortunately. The problem is Cashman, analytics department. I agree. I agree. I mean, Cashman, the fact that he came out there and said that, oh, this team is too left-handed, that's your problem. Your job is to make this team. Your job is to build this team, man. And you built it with a lot of flaws. So now you have to fix your problem. So Brian Cashman, get to it. Yeah, he made the lineup. He signed the players, Siciliano. And then last year, during the deadline, they had to make moves to try to fix it, like acquiring Austin Slater, who stunk, who was injured. Rosario was a nice trade. I like the Rosario move. Like I say, I'm happy we re-signed Ahmed Rosario. He's a bench piece, a right-handed bat who can play multiple positions, infield and outfield. And he's probably going to be platoon with Ryan McMahon. McMahon stinks against lefties, and Rosario crushes them. So you're signing a guy to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract. He's going to be a player in this organization next year. So I like the Rosario move a lot. And yeah, I know they're not spending a lot of money. The Shift's in the chat. What's up, my boy? Let me ask you, the Shift, how has it been this offseason for you? Because, man, the news has been just quiet. First offseason in a while that literally the team has done little to nothing. Did I cry when John Cena lost his last match? I did not cry. I expected it to happen. I was telling my fiance that Gunther is going to win this match because, one, I'll guarantee you, Cena was the reason why it happened. Cena probably told Triple H, I want this to happen. So, yeah, it stunk. It stunk to see Cena lose. But, listen, there was little to nothing for him to gain for him winning. I know it was his last match, but McMahon stinks in general, says JKP. The guy has no bat. Yeah, his offense definitely has been awful, but his defense is phenomenal. And right now, the infield for the Yankees without Volpe for, let's say, until May, you have McMahon on third, platooning with Rosario. Rosario can actually, or also play in the outfield, but shortstop would be Caballero and Oswaldo Cabrera right now. And then second base, Jazz Chisholm Jr. We saw the rumors and or not rumors, but the news that the Yankees are listening to trade offers for Jazz Chisholm Jr. I mean, you can listen all you want. That doesn't mean they're going to make a trade. If someone calls you, you're going to pick up, right? So I want people to understand, like, the fact that the Yankees are listening to trades for Jazz doesn't mean they're actively trying to trade him. That just means they're picking up the phone. And if someone's saying, hey, this player, and this player, and it makes sense, maybe they do make a trade. You know, essentially, Jazz is on a 1 year now. He's under control until 2027, coming off probably one of his best seasons ever, 30-30 year. He's saying that he can do a 40-40 season if he's fully healthy. They haven't talked to Jazz about extensions, which is kind of crazy. You know, if you're a part of this team going forward, I would think the team is going to talk to you about extensions, especially coming off a 30-30 year. But, yeah. The Shift saying, yeah, man, it's really quiet and Cena tapping out with something. At least he was smiling doing so, the Shift. T Sports says, I don't know why they don't have urgency to get better after they just lost in a divisional round versus the Blue Jays, and the entire American League East is getting way better. They are. The whole division's getting better. Even the Rays. The Rays are making moves as well. And the Rays are always one of those teams that's like, they're not awful, but I don't see the Rays being a contender for the division, but that's a team that's going to give you problems every year, especially with Kevin Cash as their manager. But, yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm not going to sit here and panic. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, destroy the team because the players that I want personally are still out there. Tatsuya Mai, Cody Bellinger, Okamoto, the Michael Kings of the world, they're still out there, man. You know, so that's how MLB offseason is. Sometimes it's a slow but steady race. But it sucks to sit here and be a Yankee fan and look at the other teams around us actively making moves, whether that's making trades, whether that's signing these guys off the free agency. But I'm not going to sit there and panic yet. Now, if this is January 15th, a month from now, and everyone's gone, we missed on Cody Bellinger, we missed on Kyle Tucker, Tatsuya Amai went west. I don't know if that's playing for the Giants. Maybe Seattle's in line for him. Who knows? But if all these guys are then off of the market and the Yankees are sitting here rolling out a team with, Trent Grisham as our center fielder, which they already are because he accepted a qualifying offer. And then left field is Dominguez / Spencer Jones. The infield looks like McMahon, Jose Caballero, Jazz, first base, Ben Rice. And then the starting rotation is, Max Fried up top, Cam Schlittler. And then you got Will Warren, Luis Heel, Ryan Yarbrough. That's the rotation. I can't sit here and promise you that I'm not going to be pissed off because I don't think this team would be good enough to... I'm talking about championships. I don't think this team would be good enough to win the division. If that was our roster almost going into spring training. But until then, I'm sitting back and, I'm not going to sit here and destroy the team and go on a huge rant and curse out everybody that's involved because everyone's still out there. We'll take a look just in a second who's out there still. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. Thank you all for joining. Sorry about the lack of Yankees talk streams during the offseason, but I didn't want to sit here and just give you guys some, I want this player, I want this player, I want that player. I want some news to trickle in here, and we can actually have some discussions about that. So Michael King, this news broke yesterday, but from Peter Abraham of the Boston Globe reports that Michael King has 3 teams that he's deciding on: Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles. So the Yankees miss out on Michael King. Not only do they miss out on Michael King, but that means he's going to a rival team to help them win. So it's a lose-lose if the Yankees miss out on him. Now, the Yankees miss out on King and sign Amai. I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm going to be happy that we got Amai. But right now, it's just hard to sit here and see these other teams that are in our division getting better while we're sitting on our hands. So, hope they allow teams to trade draft picks after the CBA. That would be something, huh? If you think the Yankees are going anywhere with a left side of the infield of McMahon and Volpe, you can forget it. Well, Volpe's going to be out, let's say until May. They're saying early May would probably be when Volpe comes back. So right now, the left side for 2 months would be McMahon and Rosario platooning, and then it would be Caballero and Cabrera platooning on short. That's what the left side would be, because we are getting Oswaldo Cabrera back, which I love Cabrera, so I'm happy that he'll be back. He can also play first base too. Ben Rice is our starting first baseman. That's what Brian Cashman said, unless they make a move for another first baseman, which I don't see happening. And Ben Rice can also catch. That's something the Yankees don't have right now as a backup catcher. I mean, we have J.C. Escara, but we need a right-handed catcher. We can't roll into 2026 the same issue we had in 2025, and that's having 3 left-handed catchers. We need a right-handed catcher. JT Realmuto still out there. Danny Jansen signed to the Rangers, so his name's off the books. But thank you, Michael. Or thank you, Mike Kowinski. Shout out to my boy. What's up, Joseph Papa? Why aren't the Yankees trying to get Arizona Marte? Marte has the Yankees on his no-trade list. That's why. And I can get you that information right here because I just saw that information. Ketel Marte is not going to be a Yankee, which, I like Ketel Marte a lot. But I think Marte ends up either with Boston or, dare I say it, the Blue Jays. But, yeah, this is reported by Ken Rosenthal. Ketel Marte has 5 teams on his no-trade list, and that is the Athletics, the Cardinals, the Giants, the Pirates, and the Yankees. So that is your answer right there, man. It sucks because I like Ketel Marte. But you know what? If we're on his no trade list, and kick rocks. That means you just don't. That means you just can't handle it. That means you cannot handle New York. Kick rocks. If Cody wants 7 years at 30 per, I'd rather go Okamoto 5-20 per and Miggy Andujar to platoon and left with J-Dom with that 30 and Hassan Kim to fill out the lineup. King or am I, but I doubt it. Yeah, Cody, well, that's what Scott Boras wants. And Cody, I'm sure Cody wants all the money he can get. Don't get me wrong, but Scott Boras is set on 7 years. Okamoto, I would love to have Okamoto and Amai. Andujar would be interesting if we have a reunion with him. But right now, I think platooning, if you're talking outfield, I think right now they are looking at Dominguez and Jones platooning. Now that's right now as we speak. They could get traded. Something else could happen. Don't get me wrong, but I think right now that is the Yankees news or Yankees plan right now. What about Bo Bichette? Are the Yankees in the running? Does Bo have the mental makeup for New York? I haven't heard anything with the Yankees and Bo Bichette, man. I haven't really heard anything about Bo Bichette in general. Like, his market seems like it's kind of quiet right now. I don't think he'll be back with Toronto, especially because how much money the Toronto Blue Jays are spending, which, I mean, they have a lot of money, so they could re-sign him. But Bo, I haven't heard much of, man. If the Yankees don't make moves in the offseason, then I'm 100% confident that if their season isn't going well at the midseason mark, then they'll do a lot at the trade deadline. Well, if that happens, T-Sports, they'll be sellers at the deadline. Crow Bro, what's up? Me creeping in as a Dodger fan. Uh-oh, there he is. Crow Bro's in the chat. What's up, man? Andujar sucks for the Yankees. He doesn't play well in the Bronx. I mean, he didn't do well with us, but after he left us, he did pretty damn well. But it could go all out of the window if he's back with us. So here, let's take a look at some free agents here. Bregman's still out there. I do think Bregman will re-sign with the Red Sox. Something's going to happen. Maybe he signs another one-year contract, but Bregman is still out there as a third base option. The Yankees, I definitely do not see that happening. I just don't see that happening at all. Bellinger, of course, right now market value, he's sitting at $30 million per. I can see that definitely happening. Jordan Montgomery, don't want to see that. JT Realmuto would be an interesting option for the Yankees. I would like JT Realmuto. I think if you sign him to a 2-year contract, something small like that, he would be 35 years old going into next season. But JT Realmuto, he can definitely throw guys out. He has one of the best pop times as a catcher. He has one of the best catch steal rates in the league. I wouldn't mind JT Realmuto as a platoon guy. You know, swapping in and out with Austin Wells, and he's a right-handed bat. But right now they have him market value at $12 million per, almost $13 mil. Bassett still out there. There's some guys left. I mean, Framber Valdez, don't see the Yankees making a move for him, especially with his market value sitting at $33 million per year. Do you think Framber Valdez is going to make that much money? I don't know. I personally don't think so, especially because he's on a qualifying offer. So he has a QO attached to him. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to get Framber Valdez. Maybe the Orioles make a move. You know, Orioles still need some pitching. But the left field situation is tough. Jones hit 189 versus left-handed pitching with a 6.62 OPS in the minors last year. We know what Dominguez did last year in the majors versus left-handed pitching. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do this shift. I think Jones, if he has a strong spring training. Right now, it seems like the Yankees are, unless they trade one of these guys, meaning Dominguez or Jones, I do think it will be an open position in spring training with Jones and Dominguez battling it out because Trent Grisham's going to be the center fielder, at least for next year. After that, maybe they move Jones to center field or Dominguez, but I think it's going to come down to spring training with those two guys, man. If they don't make a big move for an outfielder, if they get Cody Bellinger back, then that's going to be another tough spot for both Dominguez and Jones. That means that's another year of Dominguez sitting on the bench. That means it's going to be another year until we see Spencer Jones as a starting outfielder. So the qualifying offer that Trent Grisham accepted slows down Dominguez and it slows down Jones as well. But that's only for a year. But that's it. As a young player like Dominguez, it would be frustrating to sit there and look at the team and like, damn, that means I have one more year. But he is young enough to prove himself, get better, and all that. But I think if Bellinger re-signs, especially for like a 5 or 6 year contract, they'll probably have to look at trading Dominguez or Jones. I mean, it wouldn't really make too much sense holding on to both. That's my personal opinion. So we have more names down here. Zach Gallen. We saw some reports with Zach Gallen going to the Cubs, but that hasn't been finalized. Merrill Kelly re-signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks after they traded him away. Goldschmidt, we've heard updates with him going potentially to the Mets. The Mets signed Christian Pache today to a minor league deal with a spring training invite, of course. But if Cody comes back, one definitely gets traded. Yeah, that's my thought too, man. Dump Jazz for Nico Horner or Brendan Donovan. The reports for Brendan Donovan I've been hearing are the Giants or Seattle. That's what I've been hearing about Brendan Donovan. He'll be either going to San Francisco if the Cardinals trade him, or he'll be going to Seattle, which Seattle just lost Jorge Polanco, so they do need an infielder. Larry in the chat, Yankees should sign Tucker or trade for Tatis. The Yankees have been boring. Why wait to do anything when they are right there for the taking? Yeah, Tatis would be a move I would love personally. If the Yankees do make a trade, Tatis would be very interesting because, one, he's under contract for a while, and his AAV isn't that crazy. I think he's roughly making like $24 million per year. So Tatis would be very interesting, and he's young, man, and he has a platinum glove in the outfield. And if you need him to, he can play shortstop, but he's better in the outfield for sure. San Diego's not trading Tatis. I've been hearing some rumors about they're fielding calls for their relievers, which it would be crazy if the Padres traded Mason Miller after they just traded for him and they gave up, I think, like the number 3 prospect in baseball for him. It would be insane if that happens. But I have heard some updates that the Padres are fielding some calls. Padres are crazy. I mean, if you're a Padres fan, you can't sit there and be excited for this upcoming year. Believe a shot for a Tatis at short. It depends, man. Tatis, I think, personally, is better in the outfield. Miller to Mets, any chance? Heard that talk? I haven't heard anything about that. But like I said, though, I've heard the Padres are talking and picking up the phone for Mason Miller and for Estrada. So they're making moves, but I think Padres, they got to figure something out because the Bogarts contract right now looks like an abomination. And then you still have Manny Machado under contract for a while, Tatis under contract. So I don't know what the Padres do. Jake Cronenworth also on a long-term deal. Jackson Merrill, but I think the Jackson Merrill contract's good because he's a good player. Jazz is a really good ball player, says the shift. The fan base being divided on him is strange. Tatis would be great. It would take a ton, though. It would take a ton. It would be emptying out your farm. It would probably be Jones. It's definitely going to be Jones or Dominguez for sure. But that might include Lombard as well for Tatis. Maybe even a pitching prospect like Chase Hampton or I don't know. But it's going to take a ton. I agree with you, bro. It's going to take a lot. I like Jazz. I don't mind Jazz. I don't mind Jazz being on this team. I like Jazz. You know, yeah, sometimes some of his plays are lazy. You know, the bonehead decisions on the base pass sometimes. But Jazz, I think Jazz helped this team more than he hurt this team. And I think Jazz next year is going to be helping this team more than he hurts it. I think Jazz needs to work on his contact more and not swinging for the fence. But, I mean, the guy just had a 30-30 year. And he missed, 3 weeks of action? He still hit 30 home runs and he had 30 stolen bases. Yeah, Jazz is under contract till 2027. What's up, Action? VJ's in the house. What's up, man? Missed you too, buddy. Missed all of you guys, man. You know, doing these basketball streams has been awesome, but I do miss my Yankee family, man. I really do. So I'm glad that you guys have came in here and hung out. Let me make you guys a little bit. There you go. I can see your comments better on the screen. But Seth in the chat, what's up, man? Yeah, Seth says Phillies signed Adolis Garcia. Yes, they did. So that means Nicholas Castellanos is gone. That just proves to me that he is going to be gone. Eugenio Suarez, he's still out there. Jojo Romero, or that's Jordan Romano. I'm tripping, but yeah, the Yankees are interested in Jojo Romero for the Cardinals. I mean, let's look at some bullpen arms that are available. Let's look at some bullpen arms. See if in the free agent land, see if there's any worth going out and snagging. Taylor Rogers, all the big top end arms are pretty much gone. You know, with Diaz, Helsley. We saw Tyler Rogers signed to the Jays. But not a lot of big time. I mean, Fairbanks would be a nice arm to have. I wouldn't mind Pete Fairbanks. Can we get a weekly New York Yankee chat starting in January? Yeah, dude. I mean, like I say, bro, if I just hope there's some kind of news that we can talk about, which today is Michael King. What's up? Panama Rays in the house as well, man. It was cool to hear you call that Knicks game earlier in the year. I've been calling a lot of Knicks games, bro. I've been calling a lot of basketball, which has been fun. The Garcia got popped for an 80-game suspension. Yeah, I mean, he's already served it, though, didn't he? This is the trade for Tatis. Warren, Heel, Dominguez, Lombard, prospect for Tatis. Warren, Heel, Dominguez, Lombard, and it might be an outfielder as well. It might be Jones, too. Yeah, Pete Fairbanks would be a nice arm. I wouldn't mind Pete Fairbanks. I mean, the Yankees have expressed interest in him, you know, recently during the trade deadlines, but he's a little, he'll cost more than all these other guys. Right now, the market value for him is at $14 million per. Sir Anthony Dominguez sitting at $10 million. Our old friend Caleb Ferguson, stay far away from him, please. Luke Weaver, don't see him coming back. I mean, the Yankees have to fix this bullpen. Like, we're all talking about Bellinger, Okamoto, and Tatsuya Amai, and Kyle Tucker, and all these other players, but one of the biggest issues for the Yankees has been the bullpen, man. So they got to figure the bullpen out as well. So making trades for Jojo Romero or Trevor McGill would make some sense. Yeah, I've been live almost every single day, my boy. I didn't go live yesterday, but it would have been Bellinger plus another bat. If they just get Bellinger, they're toast. If they get Bellinger, I think, yeah, I don't know if the Yankees are gonna sign Bellinger and Amai. They could, they can. Like, the Yankees have the money, but they're operating differently, which I am shocked, because I know the Yankees, the first thing was like, oh, let's try to stay below $30 million, or $300 million. I'm sitting there saying, like, no, that's not gonna happen, man. That's not gonna happen. But you know, now we're halfway through December, and the winter meetings Brian Cashman saying that some of these agents are asking for too much money. Some of these teams are asking for too much for trades, especially for relief pitchers. Relief pitchers right now, they're getting a lot of money. And if you're making a trade, what's up, Jake Boss? Good to see you, buddy. Relief pitchers are getting a lot of money, or it costs a lot to get them from other teams. They're holding relief pitchers like gold right now. So I would personally like Trevor McGill, but that's a guy under contract till 2028. It's going to cost. It's going to cost a lot because he's coming off an all-star season with the Brewers. The New York Pirates. I would have to be, let's see, I'm trying to catch up on the chat here. When Jorge Polanco is getting $20 million per year, I would imagine Bellinger to be close to 30. Yeah, I think Bellinger is going to make $30 million per. I think that's right on track, but the years is what's scary. The years is what I personally would be a little scared about, because I don't want to go past 5 years. Let's see. So here's some of the relief pitchers that have been signed already and how much they've got. Diaz, 3 years, $69 million. Devin Williams, 3 years, $51 million. Robert Suarez signed with the Braves, 3 years, $45 million. Tyler Rogers, 3 years, $37 million. And a lot, if you notice this, these aren't long-term deals either. We haven't really seen a big long-term contract. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, 5 years. But Tucker, I would assume Tucker is probably going to get 8 to 10 years whenever contract he will sign. But this offseason, man, we haven't really seen a lot of long-term deals yet. Helsley signed, Pagan re-signed with the Reds, Kyle Finnegan re-signed with the Tigers, Iglesias re-signed with the Braves, Kenley Jansen signed with the Tigers. So the Tigers have bolstered their bullpen. The Braves are bolstering their bullpen as well. But there's all the relief pitchers who have signed already. And the Yankees have not, other than pick up the option for Tim Hill, they haven't done anything to fix their bullpen. Ace in the house saying, shit, for 32 months. What's up, my boy? Do I have the confetti cannon? Yes, I do. I was like, am I making a mistake here without having the confetti cannon on this screen? I got to fix something, though, because Ace's name is cut off. So I apologize, Ace. 32 months on the freaking squad. What's up, dude? How's the offseason been for you, man? I know you've been doing your thing with the movies, shows, and all that stuff, but the Yankees, they're crapping on us right now, man. They are taking a dump. The New York Mediocre Yankees, new name of the team. Oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that, man. I remember you saying in the postseason, Judge and Bellinger were the only ones doing anything offensive-wise. Do you think they should prioritize batting or bullpen? Bullpen for me, personally, Crowbro, because the Yankees offense, statistically, I know the postseason, other than Judge and Belly, didn't do anything at all. But throughout the entire year, the Yankees offense was one of the best. The bullpen was one of the worst. So I think they need to prioritize bullpen. But they have a lot of holes, in my opinion. They got to get some contact bats. They've got to get a starting. I know they re-signed Ryan Yarbrough, but they got to get more, especially because Rodon, Schmidt, of course, Cole, those guys aren't available until like 2 months into the season. What offseason? Yankees haven't done anything. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Yassine, I would like Jojo Romero. I would definitely take Jojo Romero. I would definitely take him. But at this point, I would take anybody, man. Sign somebody. I'm not talking about some minor league guys. Oh, here's a spring invite. No, I don't care about that. I don't care about a catcher that's going to be in our AA system. Sign someone that is going to help this team now. Come on. can't do this to us, man. We're sitting here looking at all these teams getting better. All these teams getting better. And we're just sitting on our hands. Yeah, son, I'll try. I'll go. Crow Bro, give me a spring invite. See what I got. No, I would have Action VJ. I would have Siciliano. I would have Ambio. Everybody in the chat saying, God, whoever this guy Max is in the outfield stinks. He stinks. I would have all y'all saying, run this dude out of town, man. We don't want to see him in the outfield. Jojo Romero, though, looking at him real quick, 2.07 ERA last year with the Cardinals, 65 games, 61 innings, 55 strikeouts. So strikeout rate below average, 21.6% last year. He's a ground ball pitcher, though. That's very important in Yankee Stadium. So, I mean, he's not a strikeout guy. He did walk a lot of batters, 11.4% walk rate, which is not what we want to see. But as a lefty, he had a good breaking ball. Like I said, he's not going to sit there and be, if we get Jojo Romero, our bullpen is totally fixed. No, that's not what that means at all. But Ace says, "Oh no, we don't want to see that. Give me Volpe instead." Oh, damn, is that how it is? Damn, man. The shift have to go, bro. Have to make some content. Get ready for a stream later. Nice. All right, bro. I'll pop in. Man. Thank you for popping in, brother. Appreciate you. Yankees have an odd owner. I wish all the fans would stop going to games and stop buying merchandise. Yeah, I mean, you saw what the Giants are doing, right? Giants fans right now. They're leaving that empty. They're leaving that stadium empty. You think they trade Jazz? I don't think so, man. I know they were listening to trades, but that doesn't mean they're actively trying to trade. That's them picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, you calling about Jazz? Okay, what you want?" And then probably just hanging up afterwards because they're probably trying them. That's what I think. Oh, don't want y'all to see that. That's something that you guys don't care about. Don't worry, Max Boone will play you over Dominguez. You think so? Believe Weaver is a free agent. Would like to bring him back. He is a free agent. I don't see them bringing back Weaver, though, because Cashman basically said, hey, Weaver's gone. Williams is gone, even though Weaver is actively a free agent. Kind of weird words to say when the guy is available. I'd buy a ticket to New York and make a Max t-shirt for a Yankee game if Max got hired for the team. Thank you, Crowbuck, bro. Thank you so much. How about a trade for Mason Miller or Estrada for the Padres? Well, it would take a lot to get Mason Miller. I mean, the Padres gave away the number 3 prospect in baseball for Mason Miller. So, if the Yankees make a trade for Mason Miller, that is you giving up Lombard potentially or Jones. So, I don't know if I would give up Lombard personally because that would be I like Lombard. I think Lombard's going to be a star. I wouldn't want to give up him. But Mason Miller is a flat-out beast too. So, I personally, I can't believe that the Padres are looking to trade him away. Let's bring up Trevor McGill real quick. Another guy that the Yankees were, well, not the Yankees, but the Brewers were fielding calls for. And the Yankees were one of the teams that picked up the phone and said, hey, what's up, buddy? Can we do some talking here? So McGill, coming off an all-star year, 2.49 ERA, 50 games last year, 47 innings pitched. He had a 113 whip. He had 30 saves, 31.3% strikeout rate last year. He's a fastball, curveball thrower. And like I say, he's under contract until 2028. So you would get this guy for multiple years. He's 32 years old, righty. I would be interested in seeing Trevor McGill in New York as a setup man, because Bednar is going to be the closer. But he'll be a nice setup man for Bednar. But what does that mean? What would we have to give up to get him? Do you see the Brewers trading Freddie Peralta? I don't know, man. That would be interesting. Freddie Peralta would be a name that I would love to see in New York, but I don't think that's going to happen. Well, let's bring up King's stats from last year because he has been the news that prompted this live stream. So Michael King, 3.44 ERA last year, only 15 games, dealt with injuries. That's something that's, that has Michael King has dealt with in his career, unfortunately. 76 strikeouts. He had a 24.7% strikeout rate last year. But if I want to say 2024, it was a lot better. Yeah, 2024 season, he was great. That was when he was healthy. Last year, he wasn't healthy. But in 2024, he had a 27.7% strikeout rate. Like, those are some good numbers right there in 2024 when he was fully healthy. Brewers made a trade with Kansas City this weekend and just signaled they are selling Peralta. Mets looking to replace Tyler Rogers. I think they'll sign Weaver. Probably Patrick. They most likely will. I mean, the Mets love the Yankees throwaways, so it wouldn't. Yeah, exactly what Siciliano said. It wouldn't shock me if they signed Loizica, if they signed Weaver, if they signed everybody that the Yankees. They're already looking at Paul Goldschmidt. The Mets are. So, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. But the Yankees got to get something going. I mean, I'm not going to panic. I've stated it multiple times in this stream. I'm not going to sit here and panic and bash the team too much because the guys that I want are still out there. They got to re-sign Bellinger. If they don't, I feel like if the Yankees miss on Bellinger and on Tucker, if Bellinger signs before Tucker and Tucker goes and he's like, oh, I'm going to sign elsewhere as well. If I'm Hal Steinbrenner, I'm going to be so pissed off because the Yankees offered Trent Grisham a qualifying offer worth $22.05 million that if you really wanted a cheap outfielder, I mean, Bader's out there. You could have probably got Bader for like $10 million per and saved some money. But they gave Trent Grisham the QO. I don't know if the Yankees were sitting there saying, oh, he's gonna reject it. It would be, I said it when it happened. It would be smart for Trent Grisham to accept it. Because I don't think he would get a long-term contract with his name attached to a QO. So it's like, that right there just, and that's nothing, that's no disrespect to Trent Grisham, man. I'm happy he got his money. I'm happy for him. But as a fan looking at the organization as a whole and the moves that they have been making, which they haven't been making any moves. What up, Cadzilla's in the house? What's up, dude? But personally, as a fan looking from outside in, that move did not make any sense. That move did not make any sense. So, let's see. Let's see if Bellinger comes back or not. Let's see if the Yankees make a play for Tucker if Bellinger signs elsewhere. Let's see. But, man, like I say, we're 67 days away from spring training games beginning. We have 2 months of offseason still to go. So, as December 20... right now, December 15th, I'm not going to sit here and be pissed off and upset just yet because the players that I want are still out there. Tatsuya Amai, Okamoto, Bellinger. Relief pitchers, where are they? Are they going to make a trade? Jojo Romero, Trevor McGill, Pete Fairbanks. Let's see. But right now, it just seems like everyone in the AL East is getting better while the Yankees are staying pat and saying, let's run this back next year and let's hope for the best. I don't see it, man. This team right now, as it's constructed, is not good enough to win even our division. The Blue Jays are by far the betting favorites to win the division right now. I mean, that team just went to Game 7 of the World Series. They just went to 11 innings in Game 7 of a World Series. Now, I know we have the same record with the Blue Jays, but they've already made moves to better that team while the Yankees haven't. So, Yankees got to get something going, man. I'll be live for any news, any big news that happens. You know, sorry about the lack of Yankee streams during this offseason, but right now it's just the lack of news. It's been a lack of news. So make sure your notifications are turned on. If you're new watching on the replay, thank you so much, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. But we'll do some more of these. We'll do some more of these, especially in January once the season is about to begin. Like Action VJ, I will. If I'm not gonna do a daily stream, I'm gonna try to do at least once a week stream until the season starts, and then you already know what time it is. When the season begins, it's Yankees all the way. But I'll be covering some basketball as well. So if you guys are just sports fans, thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out. I'm out of here for this stream. If more news drops, I'll drop some shorts. If anything else big happens, I'll be here. But thank you all for joining me. It's always love, peace, chicken grease on Max Coverage TV. Wake up, Yankees. Do something. Come on. Wake up. I'm out here. Peace.